Did you know that an estimated 1 out of every 2 older adults is at risk for malnutrition or is already malnourished? Now, when you hear that word, you might picture someone who is frail and underweight. But the silent danger, the one hiding in plain sight in millions of American kitchens, is a different kind of malnutrition. It's not about a lack of food, but a surplus of the wrong food, especially at the most important meal of the day. The truth is, the breakfast you've been eating for the last 30 or 40 years could be quietly contributing to a state of internal crisis in your body, setting you up for fatigue, brain fog, and chronic disease, even if you look perfectly healthy on the outside. What you are about to learn could fundamentally change the way you look at your morning plate, and it might just be the most important health decision you make all year. The rules of the game change after you turn 60. Your body is not the same machine it was at 30 or 40. A breakfast that was once harmless, or even considered healthy, can suddenly become a metabolic landmine. This isn't about scaremongering. It's about understanding the new reality of your physiology. As we age, our stomach acid levels often decline, which can make digesting certain foods more difficult. Our body's ability to manage blood sugar becomes less efficient, making us far more vulnerable to the damage caused by sugar and refined carbohydrates. The protective lining of our stomach can become more sensitive to irritation, and our immune systems may not be as robust, making the consequences of foodborne illness far more severe. And perhaps most critically, many of us are on one or more daily medications, creating a hidden risk of dangerous food-drug interactions that simply didn't exist when we were younger. Ignoring these changes is like trying to drive a classic car the same way you drive a brand new one. You risk damaging the engine. Your morning choices matter more now than ever before. A quick note: this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making changes to your health regimen. In this video, we're going to do something incredibly important. We will count down the 5 worst foods to put in your body first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, after the age of 60. I'll explain exactly why they are so damaging to your aging body, based on solid scientific research. But I will not leave you with a list of warnings. After we cover the dangers, I will give you the 5 best foods to replace them with. Foods that can turn your breakfast from a potential liability into your most powerful medicine. And you absolutely must stay with me until the end, because the number 1 best food on our list is a muscle-preserving powerhouse. That is absolutely critical for maintaining your strength and independence as you age. You cannot afford to miss this. Before we dive into the danger list, what's the one breakfast food you've relied on for years? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what everyone's morning routine looks like, and I do read every single one. All right, let's begin our countdown with the 5 worst foods to eat on an empty stomach after 60. Coming in at number 5 is a food that will shock many of you because it's so heavily marketed as a health food. It's the healthy yogurt trap. We've all seen the commercials. Yogurt is supposed to be the perfect light start to the day, packed with calcium for our bones and beneficial probiotics for our gut health. It seems like a smart, easy choice. But here's the problem. When you eat yogurt on a completely empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, this healthy choice can completely backfire. After a night of fasting, your stomach is a highly acidic environment. Think of it like a vat of strong acid with nothing else in it. This is by design, to kill off any stray bacteria. However, this acidic environment is incredibly hostile to the delicate live probiotic cultures found in yogurt. Research suggests that when consumed on an empty stomach, a significant portion of these beneficial bacteria can be destroyed by stomach acid. While some specific probiotic strains are tougher than others, many common cultures in yogurt are simply no match for that morning acid bath. Furthermore, yogurt itself is a slightly acidic food. When you add it to an already acidic stomach, you can increase the overall acid load, which for many seniors can lead to discomfort, a sour feeling, or even trigger heartburn. Take the story of Linda, a 69-year-old from Ohio. She started every single day with a small cup of fruit-flavored yogurt, believing she was doing the best thing for her digestion. But for months, she was plagued by a nagging, sour feeling in her stomach and mild indigestion. Her doctor finally explained that her morning stomach was simply too acidic for the yogurt to provide any benefit. In fact, it was likely contributing to her discomfort. The better swap is simple. Don't eat yogurt first. Have it after you've eaten something else, like a bowl of oatmeal or a handful of nuts. These foods act as a buffer, lowering the stomach's acidity and giving those precious probiotics a much better chance of survival. The bottom line is this: eating yogurt first thing in the morning is like sending your best soldiers into a planned ambush. Give them a fighting chance by eating something else first. Coming in at number 4 is the spicy scramble mistake. For many people, a spicy omelet or scrambled eggs with a dash of hot sauce or chili flakes seems like a fantastic way to wake up the senses and kickstart the metabolism. It feels zesty and invigorating. And for a younger person, it might be just that. But for a body over 60, starting the day with that kind of heat can be a direct assault on a more vulnerable digestive system. As we age, the protective mucus layer of our stomach lining can thin, and our stomach can become more sensitive to irritants. What was once a pleasant kick of spice can now become a source of prolonged discomfort. The active compound in spicy foods is called capsaicin. When it hits an empty stomach with no other food to act as a buffer, it can directly irritate that sensitive stomach lining, leading to symptoms like stomach cramps, a burning sensation, and general digestive distress. For the millions of seniors who have a mild, perhaps even undiagnosed case of gastritis, which is simply an inflammation of the stomach lining, spicy foods are a well-known aggravator. Now, to be clear, research from institutions like the Mayo Clinic shows that spicy foods do not cause stomach ulcers. That's a myth. But what they absolutely can do is make the symptoms of existing inflammation dramatically worse. Even more concerning, spicy foods can relax the lower esophageal sphincter. This is the muscular valve at the top of your stomach that's supposed to keep stomach acid from splashing up into your esophagus. When it relaxes, you get acid reflux or heartburn. Consider George, a 74-year-old from Texas who loved his morning eggs with a generous sprinkle of chili flakes. He started developing a persistent, burning pain in his upper abdomen that would linger for hours after breakfast. He chalked it up to just getting older. But a visit to his doctor revealed he had mild gastritis. His spicy breakfast was like pouring salt on a wound every single morning. The better swap is to flavor your eggs with delicious, non-irritating herbs. Think fresh dill, parsley, chives, or even a little turmeric, which has anti-inflammatory properties. You can still have a flavorful breakfast without the fiery backlash. The bottom line is simple. Don't start your day by pouring fuel on a potential fire. Save the spice for later meals when your stomach has a protective buffer of other foods. At number 3, we have a breakfast choice that is practically synonymous with health in America, which makes its hidden dangers all the more concerning. It's the citrus acid assault. A tall glass of orange juice or half a grapefruit seems like the perfect vitamin C-packed way to start the day. It's refreshing, it's natural, and it's been a breakfast table staple for generations. But after age 60, this morning ritual can become a serious double-edged sword, attacking your body on 2 separate fronts, through acid overload and, much more dangerously, through medication interference. First, the acid. Citrus fruits, by their very nature, are high in citric acid. When you consume them on an empty stomach, This acid can directly irritate the stomach lining, leading to that familiar burning sensation of heartburn or worsening the symptoms of acid reflux. But that's the lesser of the two evils. The most critical danger for seniors is the medication menace. Many citrus fruits, and grapefruit in particular, contain a class of compounds called furanocoumarins. These compounds can block the action of a key enzyme in your intestines that is responsible for breaking down and metabolizing dozens of common, life-saving medications. When this enzyme is blocked, the medication isn't metabolized properly. Instead of getting the intended dose, your body can absorb a much higher, potentially toxic amount. It essentially turns your carefully prescribed medication into an overdose. Let me share the story of Robert, a 78-year-old who was diligent about taking his blood pressure medication every morning. He also enjoyed a grapefruit with his breakfast, thinking it was a heart-healthy choice. He started experiencing episodes of dizziness and feeling lightheaded, which he and his family worried might be a sign of a stroke. A thorough review with his pharmacist revealed the true culprit. The grapefruit was intensifying the effect of his medication, causing his blood pressure to drop to dangerously low levels. The better swap is to get your morning dose of vitamin C from berries like strawberries or blueberries. They are lower in acid and, crucially, do not have the same dangerous medication interactions. If you absolutely love citrus, have it much later in the day, at least a few hours after your morning medications, and always with other food to buffer the acid. The bottom line is this: your morning glass of juice or half a grapefruit could be turning your precisely dosed medication into a dangerous game of Russian roulette. This is a risk you simply do not need to take. Our runner-up for the worst food to eat on an empty stomach, at number 2, is perhaps the most common morning ritual in the entire country: the solitary cup of coffee. For millions of us, the day simply does not begin until that first warm, aromatic cup of coffee. It's a comfort, a habit, a perceived necessity. And while coffee itself has many health benefits, the timing of that first cup is what creates a significant problem, especially for an older digestive system. Drinking coffee on a completely empty stomach is like turning the key on a cold engine and immediately flooring the gas pedal. It can cause significant wear and tear over time. The primary issue is acid. Coffee, and this includes both caffeinated and decaffeinated varieties, is a powerful stimulant of gastric acid production. When you drink it on an empty stomach, there is no food to act as a sponge. That excess acid sits directly on the delicate lining of your stomach, which can cause irritation and discomfort over time. But the bitter problem is what happens next. This acid doesn't always stay in the stomach. As we've discussed, coffee can also relax the lower esophageal sphincter, that critical valve between the stomach and the esophagus. This combination, more acid in the stomach and a relaxed valve, is the perfect recipe for acid reflux, or GERD. And this is a major concern for our age group. Studies show that not only is GERD more common in older adults, but its complications, like erosive esophagitis, are often more severe. The prevalence of weekly GERD symptoms in North America is alarmingly high, affecting up to 28% of the population. Consider the real-life story of Mary, a 71-year-old retired teacher. For months, she had a persistent, annoying dry cough and a sore throat that she just couldn't shake. She blamed seasonal allergies, the dry air in her house, everything but her morning routine. It wasn't until an endoscopy for an unrelated issue that her doctor found significant acid reflux damage in her esophagus. Her primary symptom wasn't the classic chest-burning heartburn. It was a cough caused by acid irritating her throat. The trigger? Her lifelong habit of drinking 2 cups of black coffee before eating a single bite of food. The better swap is surprisingly simple. Never drink coffee on a truly empty stomach. Have it with your breakfast or after your breakfast. Even just a few bites of food can make a world of difference. And if you take milk, some research from the Cleveland Clinic suggests that low-fat dairy can act as a buffer between the stomach acid and your stomach lining, which can help prevent heartburn. The bottom line is this: your morning coffee needs a partner. Don't send it into your stomach alone to cause chaos. Always pair it with food. And now we arrive at the #1 worst food to eat on an empty stomach after age 60. This isn't just a bad choice. It is a metabolic disaster that sets a negative tone for your entire day. The #1 worst food is the blood sugar saboteur. This category includes sugary breakfast cereals, even the so-called healthy ones with added fiber, as well as pastries, donuts, muffins, bagels, and plain white toast. They are the epitome of fast, convenient, and for many, delicious American breakfast foods. But for a body over 60, starting your day this way is the single most damaging thing you can do to your metabolism, your energy levels, and even your brain function. Here's what happens inside your body. These foods are made of simple, refined carbohydrates. When they hit your empty stomach, your body digests them almost instantly, converting them directly into glucose or sugar, which floods into your bloodstream. This causes a massive, rapid spike in your blood sugar. In response to this sugar emergency, your pancreas is forced to work overtime, pumping out a huge amount of the hormone insulin to try and shuttle all that sugar out of your blood and into your cells. This creates a violent hormonal roller coaster, and as we all know, what goes up must come down. A few hours later, that blood sugar peak inevitably leads to a dramatic crash. This crash is what causes that classic mid-morning slump, the fatigue, the irritability, the inability to concentrate, the brain fog. Your body, now low on sugar, sends out powerful signals for more quick energy, triggering intense cravings for more sugar and more refined carbs. This creates a vicious cycle of spikes, crashes, and cravings that can last the entire day. The long-term damage is even more severe. A 2023 study out of the University of Missouri found a direct link between Western diets high in fat and sugar and the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Another large prospective cohort study reported that high consumption of refined cereals was associated with an increased risk of all-cause mortality. For seniors whose insulin sensitivity is often naturally declining with age, this daily metabolic assault dramatically increases the risk of developing full-blown type 2 diabetes. Think of David, a 75-year-old who was frustrated because he always felt sharp and clear-headed in the evenings, but struggled with mental fog every single morning. He thought his breakfast was healthy, a bowl of bran flakes with raisins. His doctor had him wear a continuous glucose monitor for a week. The results were stunning. Every morning, about an hour after his healthy cereal, his blood sugar was skyrocketing into the diabetic range, and then crashing 2 hours later. That crash was the direct cause of his brain fog. The better swap, as we'll discuss in detail, is a bowl of slow-release whole-grain oatmeal. The bottom line is this: starting your day with a sugary, refined carb breakfast is like taking out a high-interest loan on your energy. You get a brief, fleeting rush, but you will pay for it dearly with interest for the rest of the day. So we've just walked through a minefield of morning mistakes. We've seen how sugary cereals sabotage your blood sugar, how coffee on an empty stomach can fuel the fire of acid reflux, how a simple grapefruit can dangerously interfere with your medications, how spice can irritate a sensitive stomach lining, and how even a supposedly healthy yogurt can be a waste of money and a source of discomfort. It can feel overwhelming, and you might be thinking that everything you enjoy is off limits. But please, don't feel discouraged, because here is the wonderful, empowering truth. Your body has a remarkable, innate ability to heal and to thrive. And that healing process, that journey back to vitality, starts with the very next choice you make. It starts with what you choose to put on your plate tomorrow morning. We're now moving from the dangers to the solutions. This is the part of the video where you take back control. This is where we turn breakfast from a source of stress into your most powerful tool for building a stronger, sharper, more resilient body. But first, let's pause for a moment to bust a very common myth, one that can lead well-intentioned people astray. The myth is this: a big bowl of fruit is the absolute healthiest way to start your day. Now, let me be very clear. Fruit is incredibly healthy. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. But the myth isn't entirely wrong. It's just incomplete. And that missing piece is critical for seniors. Eating a large portion of fruit, especially high-sugar fruits like bananas or mangoes, all by itself on an empty stomach, can still be problematic for a body over 60. Here's why. Fruit is primarily composed of carbohydrates in the form of natural sugars like fructose. When you eat it alone, your body still digests it relatively quickly, which can cause a notable spike in your blood sugar. For a senior whose insulin sensitivity may already be declining, that spike can be more pronounced and harder for your body to manage. This can still lead to a subsequent energy crash and cravings later on. The secret, which is backed by solid research, is that fruit needs partners. Studies have shown that when you pair a carbohydrate source, like fruit, with a source of protein or healthy fat, it dramatically slows down the digestion and absorption process. This is known as slowing the glycemic response. The protein and fat act as a brake on how quickly the sugar from the fruit hits your bloodstream, preventing that sharp spike and crash. So the conclusion is this: fruit isn't the enemy, but fruit alone is not a balanced breakfast for a body over 60. It needs to be part of a team. Think of adding berries to protein-rich Greek yogurt or having an apple with a handful of almonds. Always pair your fruit with protein or fat to keep your blood sugar stable and your energy sustained. Now, let's turn the tables and begin our countdown of the 5 best foods to eat on an empty stomach after age 60. These are the foods that heal, protect, and empower. Kicking off our list at number 5 is the perfect antidote to the blood sugar chaos we just discussed. It is the blood sugar balancer, chia seed pudding. If you've never tried chia seeds, they may look unassuming, but these tiny seeds are a nutritional powerhouse and one of the most effective tools you can use for metabolic stability. Their magic lies in one key component: soluble fiber. A single 2 tablespoon serving of chia seeds contains a remarkable 10 grams of fiber, which is a huge portion of your daily needs. When you mix these seeds with a liquid like water or unsweetened almond milk, they absorb it and form a thick, gel-like substance. When you eat this gel, it works wonders in your digestive system. It dramatically slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates and the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. This action is crucial. It prevents the dangerous blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes caused by foods like cereal and toast. The gel also expands in your stomach, which promotes a feeling of fullness or satiety that can last for hours, helping to prevent overeating and supporting healthy weight management, a key factor in controlling diabetes. Beyond fiber, chia seeds are also packed with other nutrients vital for seniors, including magnesium, which plays a key role in insulin sensitivity, and heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids. Studies have suggested that the regular consumption of fiber from sources like chia seeds may help to reduce insulin resistance and improve blood sugar levels, lowering the long-term risk of metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. Think of Eleanor, a 70-year-old who was diagnosed with prediabetes and was constantly battling morning hunger pangs. She swapped her daily slice of toast for a simple, homemade chia seed pudding. She told her doctor that within a month, Her morning blood sugar readings were noticeably more stable, and she no longer felt that desperate need for a sugary mid-morning snack. And integrating this into your life could not be easier. Simply mix 2 tablespoons of chia seeds with about a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk, regular milk, or even just water in a jar or a bowl. Stir it well and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. In the morning, it will have transformed into a thick, satisfying pudding. You can top it with a few berries and nuts for extra flavor and nutrition. Coming in at number 4 is a group of foods that I consider to be nature's brain food. If you are at all concerned about maintaining your memory, your focus, and your mental sharpness as you age, then these should be a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. At number 4, we have the brain-boosting berries. This includes blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These vibrant little fruits are more than just a sweet treat. They are packed with powerful compounds that directly protect your brain. Their primary weapon is a class of antioxidants called flavonoids, and specifically a type called anthocyanins, which are responsible for their deep red, blue, and purple colors. What makes these compounds so special is their ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, allowing them to exert their protective effects directly on your brain cells. As we age, our brains are under constant attack from 2 forces: oxidative stress and inflammation. Think of these like rust and friction slowly wearing down the delicate machinery of the brain. The flavonoids in berries act as powerful defenders, neutralizing the free radicals that cause oxidative stress and calming the inflammation that can damage neural pathways. But they do more than just protect. Studies suggest that these amazing compounds can actually help increase and strengthen the connections between your neurons and improve blood flow to critical areas of the brain, including the hippocampus, which is the memory center. The evidence for this is compelling. A comprehensive, systematic review published in the scientific journal Nutrients in 2022 analyzed numerous studies and concluded that regular berry consumption has a significant and positive effect on multiple cognitive domains, including memory, attention, and processing speed. Some research has even suggested that a high intake of flavonoid-rich berries could delay cognitive aging by as much as 2.5 years. Consider the story of Frank, a 72-year-old retired engineer who felt his famously sharp memory starting to slip. He found himself struggling to recall names and details of conversations. On the advice of his daughter, he started adding a cup of mixed berries to his morning oatmeal every day. After a few months, he reported to his family that he felt less foggy and that names and facts were coming to him more easily. He felt like he had regained a bit of his old sharpness. Integrating berries is easy. Add a handful to your oatmeal, your Greek yogurt, or blend them into a smoothie. And don't worry about the cost of fresh berries. Frozen berries are picked at peak ripeness and are just as nutritious and often more affordable. At number 3 on our list of the best foods is the secret weapon for ending those mid-morning snack attacks and managing your weight without feeling hungry or deprived. It is the satiety superstar, avocado. For years, fat was demonized, but we now know that healthy fats are not only good for us, they are essential, especially for seniors. Avocado is a nutritional masterpiece because it provides a unique and powerful combination of heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and a significant amount of dietary fiber. It's this fat and fiber duo that makes it such a champion of satiety. Satiety is the feeling of fullness and satisfaction after a meal. When you eat an avocado, the healthy fats and fiber work together to dramatically slow down digestion. This means the food stays in your stomach longer, leading to a slow, steady release of energy and nutrients into your bloodstream. This process is key because it helps prevent the rapid blood sugar and insulin spikes that drive hunger and cravings. By keeping you feeling full and satisfied for hours, Avocados help you naturally eat less throughout the day. But the benefits don't stop there. The healthy fats in avocados also possess anti-inflammatory properties. For many seniors who deal with the daily aches and pains of arthritis, incorporating anti-inflammatory foods can help ease joint pain and stiffness, improving mobility and quality of life. The research on avocados' effect on satiety is quite remarkable. One key study published in Nutrition Journal had overweight adults add half of a fresh avocado to their lunch. The results showed that they reported a staggering 40% decreased desire to eat over the 3 hours following the meal compared to when they ate a similar lunch without the avocado. Another study found that replacing carbohydrates in a breakfast meal with avocado significantly boosted feelings of satiety. Think of Brenda, a 68-year-old who had been struggling with postmenopausal weight gain. She felt like she was constantly hungry. She made one simple change. She started her day with 1 slice of whole grain toast, topped with 1/4 of a mashed avocado and a sprinkle of salt and pepper. The change was profound. She was no longer ravenous by 11 a.m., which allowed her to make a much healthier, more mindful choice for lunch. This one small shift led to a slow but steady and sustainable weight loss. You can easily add avocado to your morning routine. Spread it on whole grain toast, add a few slices alongside your eggs, or blend it into a smoothie to add a rich, creamy texture and a powerful dose of healthy fats and fiber. Now, for our number 2 best food, a true classic that, when chosen correctly, is one of the most powerful, heart-protective, and energy-stabilizing foods you can possibly eat. It is the longevity oatmeal. I need to be very specific here. I'm not talking about the little instant packets of flavored oatmeal that are often loaded with sugar and are closer to the sugary cereals we warned against. I'm talking about real, whole grain oatmeal, either steel-cut oats or old-fashioned rolled oats. The superstar component in this humble grain is a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. When you eat oatmeal, this beta-glucan mixes with liquid in your stomach and intestines to form a thick, viscous gel. Its primary benefit is its proven ability to lower cholesterol. The gel acts like a sponge, trapping cholesterol-rich bile acids in your gut and preventing them from being reabsorbed into your bloodstream. Your liver then has to pull more LDL, or bad cholesterol, out of your blood to produce new bile acids. This process effectively and naturally lowers your LDL cholesterol levels. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by a mountain of evidence. A major meta-analysis from 2016, which reviewed dozens of high-quality studies, confirmed that consuming at least 3 grams of oat beta-glucan per day, the amount in a typical bowl of oatmeal, significantly reduces both LDL and total cholesterol. Beyond heart health, oatmeal is the king of sustained energy. As a complex carbohydrate, it breaks down very slowly in your body. This provides a steady, gradual release of glucose into your bloodstream, giving you consistent, stable energy for hours without the spike and crash cycle. This is why the landmark Physicians' Health Study 1, which followed over 21,000 men for nearly 2 decades, found that a higher intake of whole grain breakfast cereals like oatmeal was associated with a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Take Michael, a 76-year-old who received a stern warning from his doctor about his rising cholesterol. He made one change. He swapped his daily everything bagel for a bowl of steel-cut oats topped with berries. At his 6-month checkup, his LDL cholesterol had dropped by 15 points, and he told his doctor he had more energy for his morning walks than he'd had in years. To get these benefits, always choose steel-cut or rolled oats. Cook them with water or low-fat milk, and instead of sugar, top them with brain-boosting berries and a sprinkle of nuts or chia seeds for a truly powerful start to your day. We have arrived at the number one best food to eat on an empty stomach after age 60. This is the one I promised you at the beginning of the video, and it directly addresses one of the greatest threats to our independence as we age, the silent loss of muscle. The number one food is the muscle-preserving powerhouse, eggs. If your goal is to stay strong, to fight off frailty, to be able to lift your own groceries, play with your grandchildren, and live independently in your own home for as long as possible, then eggs should be the foundation of your breakfast. The primary enemy we are fighting here is a condition called sarcopenia, which is the natural, age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It happens to all of us, but we can fight back, and the battle begins at the breakfast table. Eggs are the perfect weapon in this fight for several reasons. First, they are a source of incredibly high-quality, complete protein. This means they contain all 9 of the essential amino acids that your body cannot make on its own and must get from food. These amino acids are the literal building blocks for repairing and creating new muscle tissue. But here is the most critical part. Eggs are particularly rich in one specific amino acid called leucine. You can think of leucine as the master switch or the key in the ignition for muscle growth. Leucine directly signals your body to initiate muscle protein synthesis, the process of building new muscle. This is especially important for older adults who often experience something called anabolic resistance. This means our bodies become less efficient at turning protein into muscle. Therefore, getting a sufficient dose of leucine at each meal is paramount to overcoming this resistance and maintaining our strength. And let's not forget the yolk. For years, the yolk was feared because of cholesterol. But we now know it's a nutritional treasure containing vital cofactors for health, like vitamin D, which is also crucial for both muscle function and bone health. The scientific community strongly supports this. A 2016 paper in the British Journal of Community Nursing specifically identified eggs as an ideal, easily digestible protein source for older adults at risk of sarcopenia, precisely because of their high leucine content. Furthermore, other research has shown that a protein-rich breakfast is directly linked with increased muscle mass and better overall protein consumption throughout the day in older adults. Imagine Margaret, an 80-year-old who had a bad fall. During her recovery, she felt herself getting weaker and was losing her confidence. Her physical therapist made a simple but powerful recommendation. Start every single day with 2 scrambled eggs. That consistent, high-quality protein, rich in leucine, gave her body the raw materials it needed to rebuild her muscles. It was a key part of her recovery that allowed her to regain her strength, her mobility, and most importantly, the confidence to continue living independently. Integrating eggs is simple. Scrambled, poached, hard-boiled, or fried, the method doesn't matter. Pair them with a slice of whole grain toast and some avocado, and you have created the ultimate breakfast for strength, vitality, and independence. This morning, we've seen that your breakfast plate is a battlefield. On one side, you have the saboteurs, the sugary cereals, the acidic irritants, and the metabolic disruptors that can steal your energy, fog your mind, and compromise your long-term health. But on the other side, you have the powerhouses, the fiber-rich stabilizers, the brain-protecting antioxidants, and the muscle-building proteins that form the foundation of a vibrant, energetic life after 60. Please hear this. Aging well is not about luck. It is not a genetic lottery that you either win or lose. It is about the small, consistent, daily choices you make. The power to build a stronger, sharper, more resilient version of yourself is not in a complicated diet plan or an expensive supplement. It is right there in your kitchen, waiting for you every morning. The choice is yours. I want to challenge you to do just one thing tomorrow. Just one. Remove one harmful item from your breakfast routine and replace it with one healing option from our best list. Swap the cereal for oatmeal. Add an egg instead of grabbing a pastry. That's it. One small step. Because that is how true, lasting change is made. Which of the best foods are you most excited to add to your morning routine? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading about the positive changes you're making. If you found this information valuable and believe it can help others, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more research-backed health advice designed specifically for seniors. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.